Shoemaker? Mr. Vaughn? Mrs. Forsythe? Mr. Hall?
President, this meeting is being streamlined and recorded. Everyone please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Brian. We have the agenda in front of us. There is one addendum to it that's sent out this afternoon and is on your paper copy here. Debbie, anything else? I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda. So, move by Mr. Hartman, second by Mrs. Forsythe, roll.
Mr. Hartman?
Yes.
Mrs. Shoemaker? Mr. Bonner? Mr. Bonner?
Yes.
Mrs. Forsythe? Yes. Mr. Vaughn?
Yes, one thing I am going to try to get approved here, I'm going to move the board action items right for the church report. Recognition of presentations, we have a presentation from Bobby, Bobby.
I've sent you some information on specs for the bus for the district. Three different companies and one with the price there. All the details are on that. Review that. Also the vehicle mileage and numbers, ages is on the sheet that I sent you. So all of that's there. Just, the fleet's really getting old, rusting, age. We had some this year that weren't very good, inspection wise, may not make it through minutes. So there's quite a few on there. It's totally what you guys decide, we really are in need of buses. The spares that are back on the lot are just as bad as they're getting there too.
They just sort of clean or?
They're just getting where, a lot of age are underneath. I sent you some pictures.
Yeah.
That's kind of the things we're going through now. So, really need to really look at purchasing some buses.
I didn't get it.
The bus information, did you send it to me? Yes.
Michael, and I didn't, I recommend being too.
One thing I do want to make sure that you guys know is I did put it in, I don't have to fund licensing for this year, but next year I have one in for my bus. I put it in my report. I feel like we have, it's been a few years, therefore why we buy multiple because we so far behind. And I understand what Bobby's saying, we gotta watch that we're looking behind again, and then have to buy three at a time. I remember one year we had to buy three.
Right.
Um,
I'm sorry that didn't get.
That's
Aaron
fine.
told me to send it to him.
So we did set aside the tier money for additional costs, like we were grant.
Not this year.
Not this year.
Oh, well, no, that's wrong, because remember we got the grant,
Yeah.
40-some thousand,
Right.
that's already been.
We bought that.
I'm not,
We
it's
bought that,
gonna
yeah.
cost me 50-some thousand, I'm
Well-
talking 100,000, I said it for next year.
So one thing that is supposed to be coming out of this stimulus bill class is aided money for schools.
Yeah.
And that is probably going to be used for things having to do with COVID.
Yeah.
I think we probably justify an additional bus purchase because of, the reality is the rest of the school year, maybe even in the fall, we're not gonna be able to do a full bus, things like that. So I think we could probably, depending on what the governor gives us of that, I think maybe a person additional.
We'll see.
I would keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that.
Okay, I'm sorry, that was my fault.
Okay.
So I sent you the information, I sort of, basically for 81 passenger bus, 1,499 background. Cardinal was a 78 passenger bus, was 103,663, and from Rush was a 70 passenger, also is 101,383. So you can see the difference, she's got all the specs on there.
That's this. Did we get the information that we asked for last year in reference to mileage maintenance?
All that was in that email.
Yeah, I said that
Okay,
too.
well, then we can still look at it.
Yeah, I sent all of that over with all, I mean, you got a one that says all mileage and years of the buses, and it's all highlighted. And then we also did the maintenance, and it shows 27 is one as a trade-in for the new one that's coming in, which Debbie's talking about. So, it is a handicap bus that is old, and needs to go. So it will be replacing, the new one will be replacing 27, and 22 will be going back into the state.
So I think that's gonna be your guys' call on that, but, you know, then he has one in the forecast, and then there are some funds that can be used, for the CARES Act, or whatever the system is, you know, I'm not probably gonna get it up.
Well, we said we're
They say, look,
Yeah,
yeah, so.
yeah.
Okay, anything else on it?
Is there anything you guys have questions about?
Now, just review this, take all this information.
Yeah, that's pretty much lays out what it looks like, it lays out what, the mileage and everything is.
Yep.
There's nothing really else to say, it's all right there.
Very good.
Spreadsheet with the cost of repair starts from July 1st.
Yeah, we said we started a new repair list this year, and that's what we spent from July 1 until up to this.
Okay. So there's a spreadsheet in there that has the repairs in it, and then costs and everything that they repair. And that's something you're gonna keep doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
We talked about trying to find some software that maybe have a better, program maybe. This is just something we come up with, so I don't know if there's something out there. We've looked at different things, but we haven't found anything.
Okay.
You know, just a better way to track, so you can pull reports
Yeah.
and stuff from. So we haven't found anything yet, so I don't know. We just kind of need to keep researching that.
You think there has to be something out there?
There's got to be something
Yeah.
somewhere. It's getting the right thing. Because you don't need a lot of extra stuff. You just need the basics. So it's just, finding the right software.
Is there a piece of our software that does that?
There is, there's a tracking system in there too. So, I mean, that's in the new system that we can look at it too, and see what, once we get things settled with that, what, it will offer.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, Barney.
Thank you very much, appreciate it. Okay, next on the agenda, visitors public participation, we don't like the rest of the board to see. Madam Chair,
Can I stand back here?
Sure.
Where I don't have to have this on?
Sure.
And, I've been on quarantine for the last week, not because I had COVID, but someone else had it.
Yeah.
In the school. And so what I discovered about quarantine is when you're in quarantine, the last part of this team. So you end up, you're revitalized with teenage like and vitality to face reality. So that's my version of quarantine. I think I know everybody here, and everybody knows me, and I could, what do I have, 5 minutes?
Take your time.
Okay. You know, Liz, great experience, with her, and her children, her family. Mr. Hartman's friend of mine. I know the damage she's done at the Golden Corral. I was there when he showed up, and he said, how many? And he bought for 2, and there's only 1 here, and his wife doesn't know where we're at. Mr. Mullins, here, and he's, him and Mr. Hartman's been senior members, of the board here. I wish he wouldn't leave now because we need to get through this, situation. I wish he'd reconsider that until we get past Mountain Road. Mr. Bonner, him and I appreciate the fact because we haven't always seen eye to eye, but I think that he's a real guy. And we were able to embrace and even, recognize mutual respect. I appreciate that, This well's on the last one, so there's like, go to the well and not be dehydrated. And Ms. Weinhardt, there's just so many good things that I can say in reference to her. And so in any situation that I would ever raise a disagreement or what would be maybe seem like a complaint, I would have to preface it with positivity because I see what she's done to come in here and pick up the pieces during one of the most fragile, hostile situations in our community. You know what I mean? She walked through the halls and she did that gracefully, black hair, black suit, black shoes. even a little long. And I'm just being who I am. I'm not contentious, I'm not pretentious, but have a lot of fire in me, and the fire of my desire, it'll never expire. Love the kids, love the school district, And I don't know, maybe after I say a few of these things, you guys might go back in the room and say, you know what, it's time to press or punch his expiration date, But I think that what we need to do, and we're involved in this together, I think that we need to consider this athletic question. And I really believe this with all of my heart. If the coronavirus is something that's very, very dangerous, it has killed several 100,000 people, and I was looking at the statistics, and a couple hundred young people that are teens. But we have to also realize that last year, like 188 young people in the nation died with flu, 995 died with drowning, 340 died with burns. If that one death happens in your family, it doesn't even matter, about the enumeration of that. But I think that we've done very good. We've been sanitizing our schools, and we've been doing very good there. We're taking on the task of the mask. But I think we need to be very careful about some things. And one of the things I think is this, and this is not pointing the finger. I'm saying we. If we allow the fear of what can happen to us to be greater than what can happen for us, that's a devastating thing, because what happens in a situation like that is the coronavirus is one thing if you get it, it's another thing if it gets you. And I know many people that have gotten it, but it didn't necessarily get them. And I really don't want our school system to be victimized in that way. I think we have the best school system. Our academics, we built the buildings, and we've come through things. We've been able to persevere. Now in this particular challenge, I think we need to reconsider our reaction. We've got 5 other schools at FAC. We've got 7 schools at SVC. And one of the things that we said is that after on November the 20th, when they had a meeting with the Board of Health, that there was going to be a consideration of what the consensus said. And the sense that the consensus got was to continue to play. And so we're looking on the SOSA network at all of those different 12 schools, with the exception of Chillicothe, that are playing. Something like 275 girls and boys are in the FAC that are playing on that visible network. 300 to 350 of the Ross County schools athletes are playing on that visible network with no evidence of complication, because they're keeping the social distance. And the other thing is, if they have a time when they need to shut down temporarily, they shut down. But at the same time, then when they recuperate, they pick it back up. I think that we need to recognize that, like for instance, basketball, I'll use that. We've missed 9 games already. And I know the reason was that we had it in mind, there might be a possibility of harm. But the basketball players, the girls and the boys, they've been practicing in the gym, and that's the right thing for them to practice in the gym. But it's the wrong thing to keep them from playing in the gym. We need to pick this thing back up and let them have their inspiration again, because the pilot light of purpose for young people is something that can easily be blown out. We don't want to blow that out. The coaches are working hard. You know, I listened to Mr. DeWine on today, and I think we need to respect, you know, what he says, but at the same time reflect on what he says. Don't take this the wrong way. I respect him, and I think you have to be very careful what you say about Mr. Trump or Mr. Biden or whoever. I'm not into that. And I'm not into the thing where Black lives matter or white lives matter. I'm into all lives matter. But even in relation to Mr. DeWine, we listen to what he has to say, listen to what the Board of Health has to say, come together with a consensus of school in collaboration, and do something that's meticulous, but not ridiculous on either side. Because if not, the worst thing in the world we could drink the wine, and we could get intoxicated with it. That's a beverage in itself, and we don't need. So that's funny about it. I'm your friend. I'm not your foe. I'm somebody that would, if somebody was trying to whittle away at the integrity of the position and the job that you've done, I'd be standing up for you. I'm the kind of guy that would come to the meeting and stand up for you. I hope you know that. You know, and Ms. Lawwell, I remember there was a situation a few years back where I had misinterpretation, but the way that she handled it with fluidity, and also the way that she handled it with humility, it just helped me, and also the staff member that I had a question about. There's no question, well, because the way that they do their job was with grace and integrity and professionalism. But I'm asking you to consider this, you know, and give back these kids what they've lost, because some of them only have an opportunity now to get it done. And it's like, okay, we're going to preserve their life. But preservation, in which we take away the future reservation, it puts them in a situation where their gifts can be taken away. Listen to this, and I'm going to climax, and I know you got things to do. We got to open up the treasure house of a young person's gift and let them have life. Look at this, in the word gift, in the middle of it is if, and the middle of the word life is if. If we don't let our young people maximize the moment, being able to polish their gift and maximize themselves, then in the future they have an unfulfillment, and they live with the if in the gift that could have been. And the if is, if they'd had more people stand behind them, what could they have accomplished? The one maybe that couldn't get a scholarship, if I had somebody behind me, if they had not voted to do away with the sports, what could I have accomplished? And if we're in this situation, and I wish Ms. Shoemaker was here, because I'd like to pay reverence to her tonight. But I'm here. Yeah. Ms. Shoemaker, I want to pay reverence to you, and I think our kids need to know about this. Because if it wasn't for you, your son would not have been a three-sport all-state athlete. He would have not been all-state at Waverly in football, basketball, baseball. He would have not went to Miami, Ohio, and got drafted by the Chicago Bulls. He would have not went and got drafted by the Los Angeles Dodgers and went maybe as high as double or triple A. And then after that, a manager for like 25, 30 years in that system. You know, we need to be the maker of the shoe that puts the kids in the size where they won't be in the demise, so they can rise from the rise. I feel this thing, and to be honest with you, if I've lessened my relationship with any of you because of that, I'm willing to sacrifice my job for what I believe. But I believe that we need to reconsider what we've done here. And these coaches, their job is infinitely hard because here they are. I know they were glad to get to practice, but they're going around in circles here now. And we're still in a situation of indeterminacy where we have not culminated really our decision. If something comes up, we have to miss a game. We have to miss a game. But let's make up. Mr. Bonner, you're a sports guy. You coached all three sports. How do you look back? Did you ever coach Garen and different people like that? They were here during this time. There might not have been a Garen years, you know? We need to consider this. Do I have a grandson? Yeah. He's 6'8", you know? He's a junior. Yeah. But it's not just about him. Anybody that knows me knows that I advocate for all the kids. And I'm advocating for the coaches and kids today. And let's do what we can to fight the coronavirus. But let's not let our suspicions and what we speculate could happen to put us in a moment of desperation that takes away the kids' respiration, because the worst thing in the world to do is to have a gift that you live in the if, and what could have been a life, but because of the if that's in it, it's reduced to a miserable existence of what if and what I could have been if I was given the opportunity. Put yourself in your shoes, these parents and these coaches, and give the kids an opportunity to thrive. I wrote this to Miss Weinhardt, and then that's it. An artist deprived is discouraged to thrive. A person with a gift needs to live because they experience disability when they can't express their ability. Because there is an affinity with divinity to be and do what equips you to. The worst thing in the world today is an empty vacuity, which I've got that vacant spot. I know I was created for something, but nobody helped me do it. Vaccine and vacuity may seem to be related, but you can put the vaccine in a person, but you can't fill up the vacuity. And to be honest with you, I'm 66 years old. I'd rather go out living and being able to make a difference than go back in the corner and exist for 40 more years and be dead already. Because to me, existence is death. I never want to experience an if in my gift and if in my life. God bless you.
Thank you, Brian. So I think one thing to be clear on, athletics is starting back up at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
They're sort of trying to reschedule as many games as possible. We know more remote, we're still starting athletics.
Yeah.
We stopped athletics at the request of our county health district. And it wasn't because of fear of what might happen in the games or even fear of the kids. It was the fact that being a hospital was throwing out. And we were asked to do our part to try to relieve as much pressure as possible to do that. The county school society, they weren't going to take that recommendation. We have a great relationship with the health department. We work very closely with them. And so they asked us, please consider this, and this is my heart did. And we're back on that. Didn't have anything, kids are probably fine, we get all that, but it was a request from the health department, and the big reason was the end. They were the big reason there, but after the beginning of the year, the sports are starting back up, we instructed the athletic department to reschedule as many games as possible. There's going to be a lot of games that pop up where you're going to get a phone call one evening saying, hey, you want to play tomorrow? Because our game was canceled with something else. We're going to pick up all those games that we can. But we're going to be back up and running, unless something major happens to the state level, we're going to be back up and running beginning of the year.
Anybody offended by what I said?
No.
Anybody offended?
You're not, no. I was, and I said to you in an email last week, that I was having a meeting this week, and the meeting was this morning. And, we had a lot of conversation, and we all agreed that we need to go ahead and let it play. We also know that for the last 3 weeks, teams have been quarantined because of one kid. Obviously, that's a concern, that continues to be a concern, and then obviously these students, athletes that are sick coming to school, then, brings that to other students. So, going remote for 3 weeks, we think, it's kind of good for athletics, because if someone gets sick, they're not coming in and spreading in the classroom, it kind of stays for 13 weeks. But, Mr. Barrett is having coaches meeting, I think Wednesday, where he'll let everybody know about this, and, then the coaches will communicate with the parents what the plan is. We may limit spectators, we're not saying we're eliminating them, but we're probably going to, plan to have more spectators for a little while. Just to see how it goes.
And I think that's true. Yeah, and I appreciate you communicating with me back, but, relationships, and those are, boats, the float, the ships, we don't ever want to sink them, I appreciate that, you know what I mean? But I just wanted to make sure, you know what I mean? And I feel like I had to just.
We're doing everything we take back to the board supported this on our decision initially, possibly requesting the health department, but they told us we could, go ahead, at the beginning of the year, so we're all right.
So, whatever we've done, decisions we made then, it doesn't really matter now as we go forward.
Sure.
Well, I think it was an important decision to make because of the community and try to help things slow down. So I think it was an important decision then, and it was the right decision. I think, the kids have been practicing like they were scheduled, coaches have been great. And just sort of around, Mr. Barrett, we'll have a meeting on Wednesday, kind of lower expectations, just kind of reiterating the importance of doing the no screening so the kids get there, since having a month, they're not well. Make sure that the cleaning protocols are in place, kind of go over those things. And just know that in a heartbeat, we could get called that being canceled. That's happened many times. Those coaches that we normally play, we're still calling, letting us know, hey, by the way, we couldn't play because we're quarantined. That happened many times over the last 3 weeks. That's not so people know, but many other school districts ended up having quarantine kids and need to bring the families. So we're back on. I think January that we have maybe a swim meet or something.
Yeah.
So we're ready to go with all the expectations and this.
Including on the fifth.
Yeah.
That's all the fifth, right?
Yeah.
For swimming, that could work out very well, that they could do virtual swimming, so we allow them to continue, and it worked very well. Most people don't know that, we did a lot of virtual swimming. So I think they may continue some of that with other districts like that, and better control. So that may continue virtually. I don't think we'll do it virtually, there's some questions about that, but, so we're ready to go, January.
And I have another question. Is it true that you're going to require all staff wear?
I'm sure I am, I'm gonna get you one, this one.
Oh!
Thank you, Ryan. Okay, 2 lanes on board. Hello, so, I've got a courtesy one today. So, last week, at the Pittsburgh Middle School, we had a spirit week. So every day, a theme that students dress up for example, one day was an ugly sweater day. So if you wear your ugly sweater to school, I had one, in the hands, that was getting packed off, we were cookie. So I like that. But, and then Friday, we had a special mystery day. So the first period, all the students were given a list of possible suspects to use someone, so it's about times 3 long saber bar, and they had to figure out who that was. So the second period, we got puzzles to solve to figure out, narrow down suspects. And then the third and final period of the day was the fingerprinting activity, and then final weeks were set out to figure that out. I think everyone saber bar them too. And then, so, there was a student, Ann Cowley, who recorded a video of Cowlights and used for her motion practice class. In the category, we had to make a music video, during some possibilities to create a video production class. He finally was able to record this last week. So Ann said this about it. Me and the seniors wanted something to remember our senior year, we black responses, so the video would It's finished and I published it as the YouTube channel, and the site of Lightweight Arena. It turned out really well. I watched it earlier today, and the effort for putting it, everyone really cares. So, good job, man. And that's all I have. All right, well, thank you very much.
Let's say that, next month is Austin's last meeting.
Oh, yeah.
And he's gonna pass off his position to Emma Lawrence.
Oh, okay, so, yeah. I was ready to talk to the student rep, but you didn't pick up. Legislative update, on the only thing we're trying to nail, the youth money bill did pass the House, it looks like it's gonna start on the Senate. Unfortunately, they're not gonna take that for next year, so it'll start over. But they are saying they're going to make part of the budget process. So hopefully, there's still going to be some good news for the school districts across the state. So let's move over to board action and board resolutions. According to the February Ross Board, the first resolution is to basically reappoint Andrew Beddoe. I'll entertain a motion to do that. Move by Mr. Harvey, second by Mr. Bonner. Roll.
Mr. Harvey?
Yes.
Mrs. Shoemaker? Mr. Bonner?
Yes.
Mrs. Fortline? Yes. Mr. Mullins?
Yes, the next resolution is to appoint Mike Rome to the seat. I'll make that motion. Second by Mrs. Fortune, roll.
Mrs. Shoemaker? Mr. Bonner?
Yes.
Mrs. Fortline? Yes. Mr. Mullins?
Yes.
Mr. Harvey?
Yes.
Next board action item, board resolution regarding proposed downtown redevelopment district in the city of Chillicothe. Mrs. Fortune and I and Debbie met with the mayor, we were two ago, came to an agreement. I think it's a pretty solid agreement, it's one that we kind of kicked around a little bit. The first 10 years of the program, is to grant a 70% exemption according to revised code. The second 10 years that will reduce to 50%, and the years 21 to 30 will reduce to 30%. One of the things that we have in there is that the board will appoint a board member, will appoint a or a board member designee to sit on the board. So, I want to thank the mayor for meeting with us on this. I know we're in this past city council and we're on the city council, so this will be the agreement. So I don't entertain a motion to approve this. Moved by Mr. Fortune, second by Mr. Bonner, roll.
Mrs. Fortline? Yes. Mr. Mullins?
Yes.
Mr. Harvey?
Yes.
Mrs. Shoemaker? Mr. Bonner?
Yes. And the next item is amended MOU. There's some issues with spending more money that the city is working with us on, so we're amending the MOU that I want to do that. Couldn't get enough roofing, help in there.
Because I think with the holidays.
With the holidays and everything, so the city working with us and amended that allow us more access to this one for other things. So I'll make that motion. Second by Mr. Harkins, roll.
Mrs. Shoemaker? Mr. Bonner?
Yes.
Mrs. Fortline? Yes. Mr. Mullins?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, there's no recommendation, Deb. Gotta go back.
Okay. We have a few things we need to do, which is set the budget hearing. So, I was hoping that we could do the 11th. Right now, I don't have my numbers for the tax budget, and usually I like to do the tax budget prior to the organizational meeting.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that would work, if everybody on the row.
So one thing we were talking about, that we'll have to do also, is I'm going to make a recommendation, and it's going to be a paper. And then it's going to be announced on how interested people can apply. I would like to recommend that we have a meeting next Tuesday to review some of those things. Don't necessarily have to interview people, I mean, you guys want to know everyone who's on. You want to know everyone. But you can interview people if you want, but the key thing is to be able to, have that person be sworn in at the beginning of the organization meeting. So you have a full board go through the organization. So basically what's going to happen is the announcement will go out that, if people are interested in being appointed to the board, the contact that you all know, so she'll get names and some qualifications, and then you guys go from there. But, you know, it would be very helpful to go ahead and do that at your organization meeting. So if we meet next Tuesday, say 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whatever, we'll out, that's for everyone. Yeah, she's going to be on the phone, so, yeah, no problem. But it'll just be an executive session, so, and then the organizational meeting, the 11th, is that okay with everyone? That's Monday. That is, what, 4 days before the everyone?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
5 o'clock. I do my tax budget.
You call me close on
Yeah.
that. Okay.
And then directly after the tax budget, then we go ahead and have the organizational meeting. That'd be okay?
Yeah.
On the 11th.
On the 11th, January
We're
11th.
going to the flag in the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's what we're doing. So we'll have a special meeting, next Tuesday at 4. And then you guys will have your organizational meeting, January 11th at 5. Both meetings at the Aqua. And as far as President Pro Tem, Mr. Harper, who will be on.
Sure.
All right, Mr. Harper, sort of President Pro Tem. No, we haven't decided yet?
Yeah, I just need to approve at this point A through H.
Okay, I'll make that motion. Second, by Mrs. Gordon, roll.
Mrs. Shoemaker? Yes. Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mrs. Gordon? Yes. Mr. Holland?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Superintendent recommendations.
Okay, I'd like to recommend A through D, please.
Okay, Bobby, congratulations on your retirement.
And then Madeline Ayers, the recommendation sitting out here.
With that, how are you?
She is in classroom for number teachers.
And Jason, how's you?
Yeah, she took the job with nurse. Pretty conflicted about the decision, but she'll still be working with our students.
Okay, good.
So, yeah, so she's gonna take off and deliver her now.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad you still over here.
Yeah.
Who are Mr. Harkness? That's it. Okay, that's Mr. Bonner. Roll.
Mrs. Gordon?
Yes.
Mr. Mullen?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mrs. Shoemaker? Yes. Mr. Bonner?
Yes. Anything else? Dave? Okay, discussion information items. Anything? Board member comments? Okay.
Since you have announced it. Steve, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for your time, your commitment, and availability to all of us. And the time was ours for a vote to you. I think we'll be creating the minutes to the extent of your dedication. I want to thank you for your leadership, your coaching us, sort of burning out us and all of us. And thank you for your vision. You are always thinking about and planning for the future of this district. And given us your wisdom and your vision in this role. And finally, thank you for being a good person. You're kind and you're a pleasure to work with. And be sure to know that you're going to talk. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mullins. I wish you could vote. Because I know I vote big. And I didn't write anything, but I do want you to know how much I enjoy working with you. The things that I believe the board has accomplished because of you. Like I said, you know, the time you put in to the board, the district, the employees, students. It's I mean, I paid out about 12 hours, some hours, or days, or weeks, or months, you contributed to this district. I think that we got some really us, we got some really nice ones. And you are definitely going to be missed. I look forward be our first continuing. And, no, I'm not really in the phone or on the phone. Thank you, see, I really, this.
Yeah, I would have to add to Steve, this, thank you so much. And really, what can you say about a person who's done this job for 15 years? The students that were in kindergarten when we started are out in the real world. And to shepherd so many students through all those formative years is really a great accomplishment and something I hope you're very proud of. The lives you've affected and touched, you never know what you've done and the positive impact you've had on so many. For me, it being the new gentleman walk here, you made my transition very easy. Your wisdom will certainly be missed, your experience will be missed, your dedication will be missed. And I think that we all got to point 3 or 4 people to the question. Thank you for your time, Steve.
Thank you very much, I appreciate that. I had an interview with the Gazette before I came in, and they asked me how I got started with this. And I think this is a story. My son was dating Lindsay West, back in the fall of 2004, and he was off to college. She comes barely through my front door all of a sudden because they want to cut the music on. Because I feel right in the ball, working. And so she said, "You can come to me tonight." It was before any instruction, before anything, it was right in the auditorium. And so Mr. Trigo did a presentation of the 5-year forecast to show how bad things were. And of course, that was my big here. Parents were all upset about it. No. And so I told her mom, who was kind of running the meeting, I said, I'll get us everything. So I got up and talked for a couple minutes and just encouraged people, listen, you need to step up to the district and, if this is being ready, then we all need to get behind it. And someone stood up and said, I nominate him to speak to the Board of Education on our behalf. And so a couple weeks later, in Smith Auditorium, all the press and TV stations from Columbus were there, everything else. I got up and spoke to the board, and they decided to go for a election. I got a phone call at 6:40 the next morning from my crew. And he said, if you come to the board office tonight, we're meeting with them. I said, sure. So I get there and I sit down, that's where I met, Bill or John Carstein and everyone else at that meeting. And so everyone around talking about what they want to do, and Mr. Trigo looked at me and goes, what do you want for us? I said, I've been here for 2 years. I don't know anyone. I work in Columbus. I don't know. Well, I got home that night, I was at a meeting, I said, well, I think okay. She said, what do you think? I said, well, for some reason, they need you to turn the levy committee. And we got the levy passed, and I had supposed to ask me to run for a seat, and I ran for Jeff Benson, and Randy Greer, and then the rest is history. I want to thank, I sent my email up to the staff, I want to thank everyone for everything, all the support you gave me over the last 15 years. During these COVID times, I'd love for some of the old board members, they could be here, they can't. I hate that. But I'm going to celebrate them, except Matt Barkley ran off for it on, so. But I talked to Jeff and Randy, and they wish they could be here. I want to thank people, so many people that to thank for everything. And I want to thank people here, Joy is serving me for a few years now, and she's such a class individual, and I've enjoyed so much learning, getting to know her and Ronnie and her daughter Lisa, just such a class family, and Joy, thank you for your dedication to the kids, and thank you for setting up, you brought a unique perspective to the board. Bill, as I said, Bill's the newest guy. But Bill and I have known each other as a teacher when I first started, and we were friends, and God had an incredible amount of respect for him. And he's been phenomenal. I think Bill's been a great worker. You talk about bringing unique perspective. He worked in this district, he's taught kids. I listen to what Bill said because he's been in the classroom with it. And Bill, I hope we're sticking around for a while when your term's up. I hope you're going to run again. And I'll be out there campaigning for you. So you've really been seven board member, I appreciate. This board, I got to know during that campaign. And she actually goes to my fundraiser at the house. Put a hand up, really works. But, they're big, zombie people, we really did, so that, she has been such an incredible supporter of mine. I worked for her pretty hard to ever run for the city. She's chaired, many campaigns for us. I think she's a big reason we have two new buildings in the town. With Liz's leadership during the levy campaign, she is our person. Liz is not only my city board member, she's one of my best friends in the world. And will always be. The thing I missed most of the last few years, every Saturday morning coffee with Liz. That was our tradition, we go back together every Saturday morning coffee, and that's the best part of it. And, Liz is going to be my friend forever, and, Liz, thank you for everything. If I'm kind of a small board member, I talk about Jeff Benson, Randy Drew, and Matt Barkley, one of the incredible people. The three of them, Jeff and I were together for a lot of years. A lot of the things that you see now came out of that board. Planning for the buildings, things that, the facilities, the athletic facilities we have now. All three of them are extremely close friends of mine. Jeff Benson is still a guy, actually, Jeff Brady Booker, still guys that, I reached out to when I was a board member to get advice. I cherish their advice. Jeff Benson, I saw here, they're just the best, and the district love to have them. And I first board member, I did the parts. When Jeff Brady and I came on board, there was a little action amongst the board back then. We didn't know what the heck was happening. Jeff has turned out that very quickly learned this guy is a heck of a board member. He's got the biggest heart of any person I have ever met. And Jeff and I very quickly developed a close relationship. And Jeff and I have worked together now for 15 years. He's pissed off me because I'm leaving before he is. He has been such an outstanding board member. He don't realize he does so much behind the scenes. A lot of his work is behind the scenes. He doesn't really care to be in front of a microphone or a camera or a press person. But what I tell you, any board member I work with, we talk about it, I just so much time behind the scenes, that's not hurt. Jeff, thank you for everything you've done for the district, and everything you've done for me. Thank you for being one of my best friends. And like I said, that's never going to change. And I'll take my head on, I'm going to go, you keep calling me too much. I work with so many great administrators, so many, I wish the teachers would be here, they can't, I hate that. I've heard from a lot of them, and I really appreciate those folks who work, who reached out to me. Josh Trick called me, just happened to live there, grabbed that hold of me. He's doing better, so, yeah. We've had great administrators, and I was asked what, I was trying to figure out what biggest achievements, and I told the press, I didn't have any achievements. I happened to be a board member with great things happening in this district, and it took an incredible team doing it. Right now, this team of board members, administrators, and teachers is the strongest that I've ever seen. And I said that, I'm going to enjoy sitting back and watching what you guys are going to achieve. Debbie Olwell, I work with great treasurers. Jeff will tell you, we interviewed Debbie, and we interviewed her right before we interviewed Harvard. Right? So her competition was not graduated from Harvard. And we chose that. We just thought she was the right person for this district, and she has been phenomenal. She is unbelievable guarding our money. Sometimes frustrates the heck out of us. but we wouldn't have it any other way. She's a very good friend of mine, and Debbie, I'm really going to miss you. Keep doing what you're doing. I know you're talking about retiring in a year or so. Hope you change your mind about for the district's sake. Hope you stay around a lot longer.
And what makes Debbie Swinehart is one of the people, there's not a lot of people that were around when I came, and Debbie and I started the same year. Same year. And, you know, we were lucky to get the best special education person in the state of Ohio. What we got her. She is the gold standard. And what it ended up being is she ended up being the gold standard superintendent. She, you know, what Debbie, you have a chief here every few years as superintendent. I told the press one of the biggest achievements of this district is the fact that at this point in time, we've been in class, in first class longer than any one of the school districts in the state of Ohio. And you should be proud of it. I love you to get right information, so that's all. But you know, I would encourage the board to give this woman as long a contract as she wants. She is, I know we talk about, you know, it's not never to get a new contract, she has done great things. Debbie, you have, a trait that I think you should be proud of, and I know all the board is really pleased with this. Your staff not only likes you, they respect you. They do love you. And that's that's an accomplishment for a leader, that we not only like, but also respect. You know, you can get in their face, you can argue with them, and they still like and respect you. That's an incredible team. This district, she's got this district going in the right direction, and it's going to keep going in the right direction. You know, we've done great things over the last 15 years. Debbie's going to take the lead on it. So give her the support she needs, and give her what she needs, she's going to do it for you. She's going to do it. With that being said, that's all I got. You know, they say, well, the Dr. Seuss, don't cry because it's over, smile because it's happening. I'll smile a minute, okay? So I just said everything right here, so for the last time, I'm going to make a motion to adjourn. Move on to hearts. Second on the mind, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. God bless you.
Steve, we would like to maybe have you come back the next morning so we can honor you correctly.
All right.
It's something we wanted to do. So we did that in regular January.
Okay. We have to